Mark Shapiro, who's the COO and president of TKO, he said in a investor call last week that they're going to put on these 4 super fights, the new group, right? And so we all presume that the first one will be Canelo Crawford. Our friend Chris Mannix reported today that they're hoping one of them is AJ Fury, which is going to be interesting because you're going to have to play ball with others, you know, Eddie and Spencer Brown and Frank Warren, etc. Any of these guys, like I was thinking then, is Canelo Bivol big enough?
Canelo Bivol?
Yeah. Is Canelo Benavidez big enough? Like I'm trying to think what the 4 are. If those 2 are the first 2, then that's tremendous. Like if you do Crawford, imagine you do Crawford Canelo in September and say AJ Fury in December.
Yeah.
Then what are the 2?
Shakur Gervonta? Shakur Gervonta, 100%.
I think Gervonta's playing ball.
I think you play
Money
ball.
talks?
I think money talks. I think you play ball. I don't know what the numbers are.
You think that's big enough?
Yeah.
You don't think it's another Canelo fight? Because remember, he signed a 4-fight deal, so he would be down to 2 at this point.
I do think there's another demographic and another audience you need to try and get. And I do think
Canelo Benavidez.
No, I think there's a younger audience that I think Shakur and Gervonta get. Completely different audience, I think. Look, any Canelo fight's a huge one. Look, by the way, if Canelo beats Crawford, then I mean, what I'm saying, just retract it. Because then Canelo versus Bivol or whoever.
What's bigger, Canelo Bivol 2 or Canelo against Benavidez?
Canelo Benavidez.
Because that's like kind of the one we've been talking about.
That's the one, isn't it?
And Benavidez has a way more popular fan base here in America than Dimitri Bivol. Like only the hardest of hardcores.
And Benavidez, look.
Benavidez look what he just did February 1st in Vegas. Like that arena was packed, T-Mobile Arena.
He sold that fight so well.
He did all the talking.
He did. It was fantastic. I think once you give him the mic, this guy's so comfortable. Not every fighter is. Some fighters like to shy and let their manager or promoter deal with it. He wants to be the guy in front of the camera. I think he's fantastic. And I'm so upset I wasn't able to get him on the stage in Saudi to speak to him because I think he's there's something about him. But yeah, look, if Canelo beats Crawford and then Canelo calls for the Benavidez fight or somehow Turkey makes that fight happen, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
So let's say that's number 3. What's number 4? I wonder what's number 4. What's big enough for number 4? The winner of AJ Fury against someone. I mean, maybe against Usyk. No, against Dubois.
Are we playing super fights in our head? Are we any weight class? Are we,
then
Inoue versus question mark.
Bam. Yeah, Inoue would be fun, but not big enough here.
Okay.
These are like mega. They're trying to get the biggest of the biggest.
Then
things have to play out and different permutation can come from
and by the way, he's been kind of speaking about things like Jai versus, I know this is, for you it's not big, but I'm talking sort of a global audience, like Jai versus Usyk. Like I can't...
Say for me it's not big, Jai versus Usyk.
No, because you might say they're not American. They're both not American. They're both not American. That's the only reason I say that.
What did Dana White say yesterday? Dana White said yesterday, we are going to focus on building it here in America. What about this one? Oleksandr Usyk? Alex Pereira.
You and this Pereira. Okay, so what? A Brazilian versus a Ukrainian?
No, maybe one of the biggest stars in the UFC. What are you talking about? The biggest star in the UFC going up against the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
And look, I love Pereira. Every time you get him or I watch it, I love it. It'd get absolutely starched.
2-division champion.
No, he'll get
glory.
Starched. Oh
2-division UFC champion.
You're talking about him fighting one of the greatest fighters that ever exist.
There's something there. Usyk didn't say that out of nowhere. Remember when he was doing that media day in London? All of a sudden, he's like, I got 2 fights left, and one of them is Alex Pereira. What?
You know what it is as well with Usyk? I think it's fun fights now at this stage of his career. He's probably thinking, I did the AJ thing, so I become unified. I've beaten Fury back-to-back. Everything now, with all due respect to anyone stepping up, is a step down from those 2 monumental wins. It's like a big step down. So
I'm calling Joseph
Parker.
Probably,
he's probably thinking, Dubois, I've already beat you.
Yeah.
Parker, okay, we can do it, but there's not much. There isn't much heat in it, you know. And people not. I would like to see it, but not when everyone's screaming for it. Bacoli getting knocked out didn't help.
Right.
So that's kind of now Bacoli's down. There isn't much. So you're right. Maybe Pereira, maybe, but I do think it's more likely Jai Pereira. I do think Jai Pereira moving up from cruiserweight to try and become. And 2 guys.
There's a greater chance of the Pereira fight than the Jai Pereira fight. There's no upside for him to take that fight. This like super.
What is the upside in beating a UFC light heavyweight champion?
Why did Canelo Alvarez come literally like 30 seconds away from signing to fight Jake Paul?
Wait. Oh, so you think there's a lot of money in the Pereira fight?
Hell yes, there is. Are you some kind of casual? Alex Pereira is one of the most famous fighters on the planet, period.
I love Pereira, but I just don't.
Listen, I'm not advocating. I'm just trying to think what the fourth one is.
Crossover things that we've seen. I think everyone's trying to do crossover UFC versus boxer. Like, the only one that made sense is the one that made the money. All the others are like, and it's like, I remember when Kamaru was calling that Canelo. I'm like,
yo, I think you're underestimating how popular Alex Pereira is. He's very popular.
Yeah, but the fact that you say this, right, and you could be true, but as you know, I kind of dip my toes in the UFC, but quite hardcore boxing. The fact I'm even telling you, no boxing fan knows who Pereira is. I do.
You're right.
I do, and I've followed all of his career since he joined the UFC, and I think he's frightening. By the way, you have to wait until Saturday, by the way. This conversation could end.
That's a good point.
This conversation could end on Sunday.
Me, especially the guy who's saying, like, don't put the cart before the horse. Yes, Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah, but I don't know. So, okay, very quickly then. The four. So, what? So,
Canelo Crawford. Let's just say AJ Fury. Possible?
Definitely possible. The numbers that could be chucked up for that one. Yeah. That's the biggest financial fight of all of these.
Yep. And they could be the ones, by the way, Dana could be the one to say, I got it done. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
I got it done. You guys couldn't get it done. I got it done. I got the biggest heavyweight fight of all time done. Doesn't have the same cachet as it did 3 years ago, but still, that's a huge feather in his cap.
Dude, yeah.
When in reality, it's Turkey's money that got it done. But, tomato. And, all right, so then I think the third is Canelo.
It's got to be Gervonta. So you said America. To kickstart American boxing, it's got to be Gervonta Shakur.
I'm just.
It's got to be. You said it. Dana said we need to kickstart American boxing. You've got two young kids here. Well, young-ish.
Yeah.
It's Shakur. It's Shakur. Because with Shakur, you get Crawford, you get Andre Ward, and in an ideal world with Gervonta, you could get Floyd, but it won't happen. But you get those two. You get everything. It's the whole package. It has to be.
Let me ask the chat. We're live right now. Just a few minutes left on the program. Let us know in the chat right now who you think that fourth fight should be. We both agree on.
We both agree on two.
Yeah, we agree on two. I think one of the third or fourth fight has to feature Canelo. Canelo ain't signing up to just be a bit player.
Okay, question. What if Crawford wins?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, no. No, seriously. Well, does Crawford stay at 168? What does Crawford do? There's no one to fight at 160. I wonder what Crawford does if he wins.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I haven't even pondered that yet.
No one has. Because everyone's been saying Canelo versus Bivol.
Well, because he
Canelo
signed this
Benavidez,
four-fight deal.
Canelo this, and Crawford's like, oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really?
You know what? I have to admit.
Really?
Well, okay. Then it's the rematch.
Right? And then the rematch is enormous.
The rematch is even bigger,
It's enormous, yeah.
And what are they saying?
You know what this does do? What the conversation we're having, it shows that there are a number of fighters that seem to be in like this mid-tier or superstardom, and there aren't that many big Goliaths. There aren't that many big, like, oh my God, superstars. The fact that we've mentioned Canelo's name 2 or 3 times as being on this list twice says a lot. That boxing needs to push those next guys up.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's about 5 or 6 stars. That's it.
The part of the reason why I'm bringing him up multiple times is just because he signed this 4-fight deal. They're together. I still think he's kind of the global face of boxing.